Brick walls. They come in all different forms, shapes, and sizes. Some are big, some are small, but with a big enough wrecking ball, none are indestructible. Now, I'm not talking about a bunch of bricks stacked and attached together to make a wall. It's a metaphor. We see brick walls in our everyday life, whether it be a breakup, death, insecurities, or family issues. And, just like with many other aspects of life, some people are better at conquering these than others. This is the story of some of the walls I've faced, or are facing, throughout my life. Death. There's been a lot of death in my life. A couple of friends, which should never happen at this young of an age, an aunt or an uncle when I was younger, but the one that affected me the most was my grandma. She was and is one of the most influential people in my life. She was born and raised in Hawaii. Her and my papa were married for many years, and even though it wasn't the best marriage at times, I always believed they were meant for each other. She passed away on September 7th, 2011 at 64 years old, and it was heartbreaking. I cried for weeks to months, and it was the hardest thing I had to go through at that point. I still cry now thinking about it. She was one of the only people, besides my mom and papa, who I knew was always there for me and supported me with any decision I made. And to have one less person by my side really makes going through life a little tougher. Breakups. My ex-girlfriend and I, Kaylee, had dated since March 22nd, 2014. And in the past few weeks, we broke up. I know it's kind of weird to put this in here, but she was such a big part of my life, and I don't really remember what it was like before her. The large majority of pictures I have of myself in the past couple of years are of me and her, so I couldn't really avoid putting her in here. I loved her with all of my heart, but we both knew at the stages of life we were in, and the pressures of school and work, we had to go our separate ways. It hurt, but it had to be done. This leads me to my next point. Insecurities. I don't think I've been confident in my life once. I wish I could be, but it feels impossible. I'm not too happy with the way I look, or my personality, or really anything. It hurts to say, but I'm not sure what to do to fix it. I don't want to act like a different person than I truly am, but sometimes it feels like I need to so that I can fit in. The breakup didn't really help this issue, and every time I think about my insecurities, I get a little bit sadder. I'm always nervous to talk to people about anything other than, hey, the weather is nice, or hey, that game was great, referencing whatever sport is in season. This wall scares me the most because it feels like the most impossible to get through. Finally, family issues. I was born from my mother, Adrienne Fortney, when she was 17 years old, and my father, Don Simmon, when he was 19 years old. Due to them being such young ages, I was passed around a lot when I was a kid. Also due to them being together at such a young age, they split up about 2 years after I was born. I never really had a place I could call home because of this. Constantly moving and going to different houses was tough, and being passed back and forth between parents and grandparents was even worse. It was very hard on me. The one place I believe I can truly call home to this day is my papa's house, because that is the only house that hasn't changed since I've been born. Like I said before, my mom and papa are my favorite people in the whole world. They're always there for me no matter what I do or what decisions I make. I love them. In the past year, I went through a custody battle, and that really took a toll on me and my emotional health. I'm a pretty emotional person, if you can't tell, to a fault sometimes. I won't go into detail because I do need to keep some things personal, but all that needs to be known is that both are by me through all of it. And that should tell you what side of the fence I lean towards. Even today, I go back and forth. 1 week at my mom's, 1 week at my dad's. I don't have the stability I believe I should have, but I can't really control that yet. This has been pretty sad, hasn't it? But just because these things are sad doesn't mean they can't be fixed. And there are 3 things that have got me through all of these brick walls plenty of times. These are my family, my mom and papa, my best friends, Nick Williams and William Lewis, and time. They say time heals all wounds, but the people around me sure help. I'm going to the University of Louisville next year and turning 18 in September. So, hopefully, that will give me some stability and hope in my life that I've never had the opportunities to experience before. I don't want this to be a call for pity or sadness, or I don't want somebody to feel bad for me. I just want you to listen. So, thank you so much for listening. It means more than you guys will ever know.